Welcome to Wit and Wedlock.
Where humor meets honesty.
He's quick with the jokes,
She's sharp with the sass.
and together we're unpacking the chaos, comedy, and connection of marital life. This is episode 4.
Episode 4.
We are being consistent.
Yeah, this is week 4, episode 4. You are driving to work or you're hanging out and you're on your couch and having a good old time and
Doing some laundry.
yeah, maybe doing some laundry, or maybe you're stressed out. It's Monday and you're like, oh no, I shouldn't have went to Starbucks to get a coffee because now I'm going to be 7 minutes late to work. But it's okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Today I had Patrick get me an iced coffee, and look how much I've already drank.
You know what's funny though is I poured some of yours out and put it into my cup because I was like, she's not gonna drink it. You are so proud. You are so proud of yourself. I was thirsty.
Ah, that is so rude.
You're like, yes, I've chugged all of it.
It's like, damn, I drank a lot.
Yeah, I took that much out. You haven't even touched it since.
That is not true.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever. We're back for episode 4. Patrick's gonna give me crap about something. What's new?
Yeah, I like doing it. It's fun.
What can I give you crap about?
Yeah, well, whatever you want to give me crap about.
You're wearing your football shirt today.
It's Washington Redskins, not football shirt. Washington Redskins. We're going to be finding out. You guys actually already know if they won the NFC Championship or lost.
But at this point, we don't know anything, right?
We
They've
don't-
made it to the
We made it to the
championship.
NFC Championship, but right now, as you're listening, you already know. You're from the future, and you already know if we won or lost, and if I'm happy or sad.
How long have you been a
My whole life. I remember in the 90s, you were wondering how long I've been a fan?
yeah.
My whole life. I remember in the 90s just going to my friends' houses and their parents' basements are all decked out in Redskins pennants and just red and yellow or burgundy and gold, whatever you want to call it. And pretty much the last time we were good, I guess, was when I was like 2 years old. So
Pretty
this
exciting.
it's exciting.
She's gonna push that couch
It's all good.
cushion off.
They have no idea.
Our dog is now taking the back cushion off the couch.
She's just trying to get comfortable. It's not her fault.
I swear, every time we record.
She's pumped for us. She thinks this can go somewhere, and she just thinks, well, maybe one day we'll have a mansion, and I will be able to run throughout the house in a big old mansion. And a mansion to her would just be a 3-2 house.
This isn't bad.
This isn't bad at all. It's an
You know, the
apartment.
more space you have, the more you have to clean.
Yeah.
And when you buy a house,
All I was saying is Sephora would be super stoked
Okay.
about a house because it would feel like a mansion to her.
probably.
You'd feel-
Do you know what today's topic is?
No. You were going to tell me, right?
Yeah, but you have to be like,
Oh,
hey,
hey.
what's
Oh, yeah.
today's
Hey, what's
topic?
today's topic, babe?
Today's topic, this will be fun. What would our high school selves think of us now?
Okay.
What do you remember? Because I graduated from high school in 2007,
And I was 2008.
and it was like a cool time, because we had cell phones, but there
Yeah.
wasn't like this insane amount of social media we had.
And you got held back, right? Because you're
No, I didn't.
Well, you're 2 years older than me.
No, I did not get held back.
Okay.
I am in the right grade.
I'm messing with you.
Oh my God. I'm about to start my period. I'm not in the mood for your trash talk.
Well, you're doing great.
Okay. What I was going to say is we grew up when the only social media that we had was MySpace and Instant Messenger, and then Facebook started to become a thing. Like initially you had to be in college to have a Facebook. Like I remember I went to like college for a weekend and the girl I was staying with was like, I have this new thing called Facebook, but you have to be in college because she had to use her college email.
I remember that.
But yeah, so we're like the one generation, the last generation that remembers life without the insane amount of social media technology growing up running around barefoot
Yeah, we grew.
without cell phones and TikTok.
Yeah, we like. I remember in high school getting a cell phone. My sister hooked me up with like a Nokia, but like texting on it was such a task to
Every
do.
text you sent was like how many, like 50 cents or something? I can't remember. So I was always so nervous sending text messages.
Yeah, I remember I think I was going into ninth grade and I just saw like an old cell phone that was like one of my siblings no one used and I just pretended that it worked. I would go hang out with my friends like, yeah, I got a cell phone, guys. I did not. It was like a toy.
What was something that you thought was really cool in high school? Like what you wore or something like, do you remember like a staple item that was like cool in high school?
I would say like American Eagle, Hollister, PacSun,
Yeah.
uh, Aeropostale kinda, but at the same time I was like, ah crap, like American Eagle and Hollister's cooler, but the polos are on a deal, so I'm gonna get a polo for $10
Do
cheaper.
you remember people would wear like two polos and then they'd
Yeah, and
have the
the little
collars popped up?
pop the collars. That made me mad.
You didn't like it then?
It drove me nuts. I was like, you're just wearing two thick polos and flipping collars,
And low-rise jeans, which are the worst.
but people thought it was cool.
I remember people would wear jeans and skirts together.
Skinny jeans, I remember
The guys
becoming
wore them.
not all, like just the punk dudes, like the jocks were like
What the heck are these dudes doing?
smushing their ding dongs to their pants. But they were cool dudes, I guess. Like they were punk.
Yeah, they were it was a great time to be in high school. It was a great time to be alive, you know?
Yeah, it is. It was cool. I enjoyed the time period that I've was born into. Like I'm super thankful because it
The
we
90s
had
was so cool.
we
Early
had the
2000s.
90s tech boom. So like we grew up with the internet, but we grew up it was kind of like it was super slow. Like you had the dial up and like you if you were get if someone was trying to call their girlfriend, then it'd kick you off the internet and then like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I remember we didn't get a computer in our house until like I was in sixth grade. So like 2001.
So my I was pretty lucky. My dad was a computer genius and sold computers. So we always had computers. And my mom worked at home as a transcriptionist for a doctor's
Yeah.
office.
So
So
you
she'd
had
just be typing
computers.
on computers and stuff. So I
Yeah.
love computers.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, do you think that your high school self would be proud of who you are today?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he would yeah. Uh
I don't believe you.
No, like I think like my high school self was like, I'm gonna play professional football and be a stand-up comedian, and I was like,
Oh, you wanted to be a stand-up comedian in
yeah,
high
I was like,
school?
like my brain as a high schooler was like, I thought I could be a professional baseball player, professional football player, professional basketball player, professional warrior, professional comedian. I could do it all. And then like the more I aged, I was like, I don't even know if I can do one of these things. Uh, but
Yeah.
I definitely knew I always wanted to get married and have kids and like just have a family and be a dad and be a coach.
I think life just
And that
happens
has
in a
been
certain
amazing.
way. I think for some people, they stick to the plan and it just goes how they always thought it would. Like I remember going to high school with a girl that was like, I'm going to be a lawyer, and
Yeah.
she's a lawyer. So it's like, but life just, takes you on a journey.
Yeah.
I think that my younger self would be like, really? You? Type thing, because of like who I was back then.
You wouldn't expect that you're where you're at now.
No, I wouldn't expect all of the decisions that I made to like I would not even like recognize that person, I think back
Yeah.
then.
And I think that's for everyone for the most part. Even the
Like,
people that wanted to be a lawyer in high school and they became that
yeah.
lawyer, I bet you they're like, whoa.
Like I remember in high school, my dad signed me up for personal training because he worked part-time at a gym. And so I was going to my initial appointment. This is probably like my junior year of high school. Now I played soccer and like I was pretty active, marching band, all of that, but but
Super active in marching
it
band.
is
We're
hard.
marching every day,
It's
guys.
hard, like how hot it is
No, I
here.
bet that those uniforms
Our like band camp was always the week before school started, and it was a whole week every day.
and the hats seem heavy.
Well, so we didn't wear like the big, so our outfits were not like the normal like marching band where it looks like military
Yeah.
almost with the big hats. We were
Shoulder
like
pads,
we wore tuxedos
tuxedos. Okay.
and top hats.
Nice.
So we were the Warner Velvet Blues.
Okay.
Uh-huh. But it was hot. You're in a tuxedo.
Yeah.
So but yeah, the band camp was always the week before school started, and it was so hot. Like we would see the football players out there practicing, and you're just standing in this sweltering sun at like 10 a.m.
Every day, Monday through
every day
Friday.
learning your like positioning and marching where you're marching to. Like you have to
Okay,
learn
so
all
you
of
guys
that.
would do that at 10 a.m.
It started at like 8 a.m. to like 3 or 4.
Oh, this was in the summer before school started.
Yeah, like the week
Okay.
before
2 days back in the day.
Huh?
Nothing.
What?
Like football players had 2 days. I didn't know if band people had 2 days.
I don't know what that means. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're diving into who we were back then, what we thought life would be like, although Patrick's kind of already gone into that,
No, I can keep
and
going.
how our teenage selves would react to the people we are today.
Okay.
So,
So how do you want to start this?
who were we in high school?
You want to go first?
3 words to describe our high school persona. Um, Perfectionist.
Yeah, because you're Miss Warner, wasn't it? What is Miss Warner again? Explain that real quick.
So Miss Warner was like represented the school.
Yeah, so that's
I was voted in, popular vote.
no big
But
deal.
I think everyone just kind of liked me. So I didn't really like
And you were like how many students are in your private school?
probably like 200
Okay, so that's
something.
pretty.
Sorry,
So-
guys. Yeah, like 200. And I only had like 38 people in my graduating class.
Okay.
So,
That's
but
a
yeah,
decent
so
amount.
I did like the high school announcements or the announcements every morning for the middle school and high school. Um, there were other things I can't remember that I did. Oh, I crowned the homecoming queen at homecoming.
Okay.
So
But
yeah,
perfectionist, what are the other two?
I would say naive for sure, naive and emo.
Emo. I think every high schooler is emotional and naive. But
Yeah, I was called emo Sarah.
emo Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing a picture. I think it was one of your MySpace pictures where it's like flowers and like showing like part of
It's
your
like one
face.
two that I like had with like my hair over my face and I'm like my eyes are closed.
Just got done listening to some Papa Roach,
No,
Avril
like
Lavigne,
some Death Cab for Cutie or
Death
something.
Cab.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much I would say, yeah. So I would say perfectionist, naive, and what did I say? Oh, emo.
Emo.
Okay, so what are your three words?
All right, so number one, attention seeker. I think that's one word, right? Or would that be?
Okay,
All
yeah,
right,
just we'll go with
yeah,
it.
attention seeker.
Okay.
I I just I loved attention, so I liked trying to be funny or yeah, funny, goofy. Just I was in my own little world. I feel like I remember in ceramics class with my buddy Will, like we I made a ding dong. I took this one kid's Chris I'll just say his first name. Chris's clay and I made a ding dong and I placed it right where his clay was. And I got the teachers we got the teacher's attention. We're like, dude, Chris, why'd you do this? Why'd you make a ding dong in class? So I was always doing some weird stuff.
You would have gotten on my
And
nerves.
then yeah,
You would have gotten on my
and
nerves.
then I remember uh, in American History, World Studies, whatever it was called, Mary was sitting next to me, and I drew a ding dong on her agenda, and she.
Oh yeah, what's happening? Are we still going? Is it still live? It's still recording. We got a phone call somehow.
So I drew a ding dong on Mary's agenda in 10th grade, and she was like, she screamed, and Mr. Whitby came over, and he's like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh." So, dang it.
It's okay.
It's all good. Phone calls happen.
I think that was Nora, but
It's
I'll
at
call her back.
it's at Hartford.
I know.
Ah,
So what was your go-to look in high school?
go-to look. It so we went over. Ah,
Pick it up, pick it up. Just pick it up. Just talk to me. Hey, can I call you back, baby? Let me finish what I'm doing. Call me back in like an hour, please. We're recording a podcast episode. Miss you, Nora. I'll see what I can do, Nora. Just call me back in like an hour. Love you. Love you. Alright, I'm curious if it stays recording.
we'll keep it in
Because,
anyway.
like, it's
No editing. No editing. We gotta stay raw.
It's way
anyway.
cooler.
Okay. What was your go-to look? What'd you say?
My go-to look, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but American Eagle, Hollister, PacSun.
Hold on. What was that shirt you were wearing when you were like 13?
Oh yeah, when I was going into 9th grade, I got the shirts in middle school, but it was like I had a couple of them. I got them from PacSun. It was like how to pick up a girl at the mall, how to pick up a girl at the movies or whatever. Like I think at the mall it was like drop a cute teddy bear on the ground, and then, I don't know, like
You wore those to school?
yeah, I thought I was the coolest dude. I like wore it like nonstop. And then I also remember my brother get me a Ford t-shirt. It was like a white shirt with
Like
Ford.
for
It
the
just said
the
Ford,
company.
yeah. And I wore it so much that like I had like yellow pit stains from it. 'Cause I wore it to gym class. I wore it everywhere. It was it was a cool shirt.
So I would say my go-to look, what I wore uniforms to school. So khaki shorts. I hated pants. So I would wear khaki shorts. They had to be collared, a specific collared red, white, or navy blue
Yeah.
with the logo. So shoes was like a big deal.
Okay.
Because that was the only way that you could like. I remember girls would buy Dickies. Remember Dickies?
Yeah, I remember Dickies.
And they would wear
Those were cool.
those.
I remember
But
like
you weren't allowed. And then I remember people getting away with it all the time. And the one time I wore them, they
you
like
got in trouble.
come after me.
Well-
I was that person too. Like
And he
I
probably deserved it, honestly.
never broke the rules. And then the one time I'm like, I'm gonna wear khaki pants with the Dickies, khaki pants. And I couldn't wear them.
But you knew you were doing something wrong.
Well, I'm like, all these other people are getting away with it. Why can't I?
You gotta follow the rules, babe.
So stupid.
That's crazy. By the way, I only got to say one of my three things to describe myself, and we went on to the next topic.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you okay, so you were attention
Yeah, so
seeker.
I'm an attention seeker. The other two, I think I was a troublemaker
Mm-hmm.
and a funny guy. I like I feel like I was like one like in the cool like what people would consider like the cool groups. I feel like I was friends with
Were
everyone. I wasn't really
yeah.
like yeah, there was like I didn't like I'm sure there was some people that are like, "Oh my gosh, he's so annoying." Or maybe some people are like, "Holy cow, he's really funny." But it was yeah, I don't know.
What's something you did back then that you're embarrassed about now?
Probably drawing on Mary's agenda a wiener. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, this will be funny. She'll think
Reminds me
that
of super bad. Remember?
yeah. I was just, but that was just me like every day I was just like, I just want to make my friends laugh. Cause like Mary was my friend. I just don't think she was expecting me to do that. And it probably surprised her where she like did a little gasp. And the teacher,
So you
Mr. Whitby rolled over. And he's a British guy. He's like,
I
what was this, Patrick? I don't know how to do it.
there were a few pretty embarrassing moments for me in high school.
Oh yeah, I got some other ones, but yeah, go.
So I would say one is my senior year. So I never got in trouble. I never got referrals. I never got sent to the office. Like, plus my parents worked at the school. So it was like I just stayed out of trouble for the most part. I didn't date
That's crazy. I was the
anyone in high
complete opposite.
school. Like, um, and so I remember it was my senior year and we were in English class. I think it was like first period or second period. I can't remember. And I went downstairs to do the announcements or something. No, hold on. Maybe I went to the bathroom. I don't remember. Anyways, I know I was in English class and I came back and it was homecoming week.
Mm-hmm.
And the English teacher, I think she had it out for me. I don't know why.
What'd you do to her?
I don't know.
Oh.
She always anyways, she told me that my phone rang. My phone was on in my purse. It rang. And she had to write me up and give me a referral. It was my hairdresser calling me about my appointment for homecoming.
Unbelievable.
And I am like, this is the stupidest thing. Like it's not like I was like, it just went off in the class and it wasn't like, so anyways.
Yeah, but you're disrupting like all your classmates.
I had to do silent lunch. And so I remember every day we went downstairs and did the announcements. I had to read off who had silent lunch that day.
So you had to be like, and myself. I have to be silent during lunch, guys. I gotta make sure I do not talk one bit.
I was crying. I was furious. I was like, this is the stupidest thing. There's people in this school that frickin' show up high and smoke in their cars and do stupid crap all the time. And I get one for having my phone ring.
Yeah.
And it was so stupid. No, I skipped my name. I didn't say my name, but it was embarrassing because I was like seen as like kind of some kind of leader in the school at the time. And I was like having to go sit with like 7th graders in silent lunch. I'm like, this is the stupidest.
Oh yeah, so your high school, you had middle school and high school
It was
together.
7 through 12.
That's pretty crazy.
So
yeah, we just had ninth through 12th.
It still makes me mad.
I remember in 9th grade, this guy Adam, he was on this varsity football team. He was a senior. He looked like he was like 27. He had a full-grown beard. I remember in gym class, I was like 90 pounds, and I remember in gym class in the locker room, he just like picks me up, and I'm wearing this like shirt, a Flagler College shirt, and it said "Still Undefeated" on the back of it. They don't have a football team, so they're still undefeated. And he just picks me up in the boys' locker room, and he's like, "Still undefeated, still undefeated." It was wild. He's a cool guy. Good dude.
So, high school expectations versus reality. What did your high school self think life would look like at this age? So you said what? You would be
Oh,
a
like
professional football player?
I just always had like all these unbelievable expectations of myself without like setting standards. Like in high school, I was just having fun. Like I know like I was very I didn't start getting goal oriented really until I was like 18, 19. I visited my brother in Florida and he introduced me to this motivational speaker, Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins and all those guys. And then out of nowhere, I just started like writing down goals and all that. But like in high school, I was just like so sucked into the idea of just high school in general. Like I was just like, this is life. This is all that there is in the world. And like if I missed a party or if I just missed some kind of event with friends, like
You have severe FOMO.
yeah. But well, now it's like I'll just hang out with the wife and the kids, play with the puppies. Like I like in high school it was like we had to like we would hang out at this place called Sheets on the weekends. If we couldn't find a party, we would hang out there and we just like try and I just remember like that was like my first sales job was just trying to convince people to have parties or to find parties. I was like, "Hey guys, we got to find a party, we got to make a party. We got to do it." And then either
Is
we'd find
Pete's a gas station?
yeah, it's up north. It's probably all over now, but that's where we'd hang out. Like if we didn't know of parents out of town that we could go party at someone's house, we'd go to Sheets and then we'd either find a field or somewhere and we just party. Sometimes we wouldn't even have anything to party with. We'd just party with just friends. We'd just be like, "Hey, we're partying."
I never
No, we usually always
did
had the
that.
fun stuff.
I never did that.
We'd always go play Hey Mister on 40. There's Highway 40 and there's this one liquor store we just go and be like, hey Mister, can you get us a 30 pack of Keystone or Natty Light or whatever we
While
could
you were
afford?
doing that, I was probably at the beach walk in Daytona witnessing to people.
That's awesome though. That's cool. Like that's very
No, it wasn't.
yeah, that is cool.
No, it was terrifying and it's unsafe.
Yeah, but you're like
No,
I was living a
no.
reckless life.
That is still dangerous. It's not safe
No,
to make
I'm
like a 16-year-old girl talk to random.
oh yeah, that's not no. Being a Christian's not safe. No one's like people hate Christians.
We're not going
I'm sorry,
there.
but it's true.
It's not true.
I love Christians. I'm
So
Christian. I love
don't
Jesus.
be blanket statements like that.
Go to some other countries. You cannot.
Patrick,
I'm just saying, you
anyway,
can't just be
my
in
point
China.
with that statement was we were complete opposites. So I don't think that we would have, we
Yeah,
wouldn't have done any, like we wouldn't have
I would have had
had anything to do with each other.
well, I would have had a crush on you, and you would be like, I I have a lot of goals in life. I'm not talking to you. But that
You're saying you would say that to me?
no, you would say that to me because you like were a perfectionist, and you were always. I didn't like start learning how to be an adult until like probably like last year.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Like where you like you've always wanted to be an adult pretty much, I feel like.
I just always thought I had bigger pants than I actually did.
But that's a good quality.
I grew up pretty early.
Yeah. I did not. I was like, let's have fun.
Yeah, I totally different. You probably would have gotten on my nerves. You probably would have made me laugh because I do remember some guys in my class made me laugh, even though I like tried to not like.
You didn't want them to know that they were on.
I mean, guys did flirt with me and stuff, but
Yeah, you're gorgeous.
I just I think also a big thing was my dad was a high school teacher and he can be very intimidating. And so I'm sure that a lot of dudes that maybe thought I was cute or whatever were like, oh, her dad, no.
Yeah.
Which is good because it kept me out of trouble and heartache and all that. Like I didn't have to deal with any of that.
Your dad is a badass. I feel like he would beat the crap out of like he seems like he could be like a black belt and like
Yeah,
a whole bunch of
he's
stuff.
beaten the crap out of some people in his lifetime.
Yeah. He seemed I would if I was I would never mess with him now or as a high schooler boy. I'd be like, nope, sir. Your daughter will be home by 7 p.m.
It's good though to have like his energy upstairs because high school was upstairs because it was like a lot of women, like I remember Miss Pedersen, loved her. She just was very like she didn't like want to just give people referrals. Like she treated us like we were like adults. Like I loved it. Like I loved her. But it was like a lot of feminine energy up there.
Yep.
And so like my dad's like,
And it's good to have both. Like you need both.
yeah.
Like you need the father figure, you need the mother figure. So I bet you a lot of people probably were like super thankful to have your dad in the like if they didn't have a
Yeah.
father figure, they probably were like, "Oh, cool, I got your dad."
Would high school you think were cool or boring adults?
Um, I don't know. Like I feel like still feel like I just got out of high school. Like I always feel like it was yesterday. So like I don't know. I feel like I'm still cool, but I'm sure like some like 17, 18, 19-year-old kids are probably like, dude, you're such a dork. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I probably think I was like, all right.
Yeah, I think,
I'm happy with who I am right now.
yeah, I think I myself, looking back at myself, would really not believe the journey that I've been on.
Yeah.
I've been like 20 different people since then. Um, so but I think she would be like, damn, like you did a lot, you know.
You have.
Uh, I would say, giving myself like if I could give my high school self one piece of advice, I would say don't like it's so cliche, but it's like care don't care what people think of you and you have time. You have so much time. Like you don't have to have your life figured out by the time you leave high school. There's plenty of time because we're in our mid 30s and we're still like, who am I? I don't know who I am.
Yeah, we're still kids. Like we're gonna constantly evolve and constantly learn. Like when we're 50, we'll be like, oh my gosh, look at those little 34, 5, 6 year olds that we were. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, we had no idea how easy it was. Like, and we like think certain things are hard now. It's like, oh, it's gonna be there's gonna be things that are easier in the future, or things that are gonna be harder.
What's something too, like if you looked at back from then, your teenage self looked at now in the world, would yourself be like, oh my God?
Like seeing now.
Yeah, like you almost couldn't believe it.
Uh, how easy? Oh, I would say, um,
I think technology is just something huge to me.
I would say in these last 4 years, I thought everyone had like where I thought everyone questioned everything, and I learned in like the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of people don't question anything, and they'll just whatever seems like that will give the least amount of resistance
Yeah,
they'll
it's
go that
interesting
route.
because I feel like in high school, you still want to like be different. You want to like oppose like the like I always felt that way. Like I wanted to in the sense of like if something was popular, I always questioned why.
Yeah.
Because or if everyone was doing something a certain way, I always wondered like why. Because I didn't want to do that.
And
So
that's probably where we connect
that's like
really well
my
is that we both
I've
kind of like
always
to rebel a little bit.
as life went on, I've definitely questioned a lot of things, but um yeah, it would I think honestly seeing the pandemic would have blown my mind for
Yeah.
sure.
And maybe it would be different. Like if I was like 18, 17, 16, and it was happening then, I'd probably be like, since I didn't experience that many years of life, maybe I'd be like, I guess this is just part of it.
What was like your changing the subject a little bit? What was your favorite show growing up?
Survivor was probably the big one. And then I remember in high school watching The Office, My Name is Earl with my parents, Friday Night Lights, um, that 70 Show is cool, The Simpsons, Family
I
Guy.
don't remember watching anything. I love Lord of the Rings.
Lord of
Lord
the
of
Rings
the
were
Rings
good movies.
was my like I was obsessed.
My one buddy
Obsessed.
Alden, we'd always just watch movies all the time. Like I remember when I was like we were like 6 or 7, and he convinced my parents that Money Talks was a good movie to rent, and my parents were like, okay, yeah, sounds good. It was rated R. We had a blast.
I don't remember shows, but I remember watching like going and seeing like The Notebook in the theaters
I remember
and
seeing that with
13
Catherine and Dave.
13 going on 30, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Like all those movies came out when we were in high
That
school.
was something really cool too in high school is on Friday nights.
Movies.
Yeah, don't like expect like in middle school for me it was like we go to the ice rink on Friday nights or we'd go to the movies, we go to the mall. We were present and like we didn't have cell phones yet, so like we'd be like me and the boys.
Yeah, like we had cell phones, but they didn't have anything like to do on them.
Yeah,
You know what I
we just
mean?
use it to be like, hey, we're ready to be picked up. But sometimes we had to use the payphone because it would only be like one of us had a like we didn't get cell phones until high school, like me and my friends.
I didn't get one until I was 15, and it was my sister's old phone.
Yeah.
So, and it was like a
Motorola.
A Motorola like silver handheld.
Yep.
It wasn't even like a flip phone yet. So,
My last high school phone was the Razor. That was cool.
I think too, one of the things that we did was, which I think, my soapbox here, I think my tangent now is these kids today just don't know how to communicate. Like, the younger kids in high school, they're all obsessed with their social media. They like talk on their Snapchat. Whereas,
And it's just different forms of communication. So
yeah,
they'll have really good strengths for other ways to communicate. And then but then where we will have better strengths in actual physical communication face to
like we
face.
actually had to call people.
Yeah. But
People say to this day, if
it,
my phone rings, I don't answer
but
it.
even now, like we're like all generations, like generations ahead of us, and our current generation, like we all are staring at our phones. We're all like not always giving eye contact. So that is something I say we should all, myself included, we should try and focus on is giving people eye contact because that could be like such a cool thing for someone for their day. Be like, holy cow, someone's looked at me today.
Okay.
Okay.
What's what's one piece of advice you think your teenage self would totally ignore?
What's one piece of advice you think your teenage self would totally ignore? Anything that I would tell myself.
Just
Because
anything.
I'm the youngest of five, so I had siblings, brother-in-laws, um, I had my parents, aunts, cousins, I like so many people older than me telling me what I should do, and you're never gonna listen But I wouldn't. I never
No,
listened.
I
I had a
think.
good. I've just made sure to just put myself through tough situations so I would understand not to do that. Like, don't get arrested. Don't do that dumb thing.
Yeah, I think for me it was like I had, you know, totally. Why are you taking my
I
phone?
wanted you to stare at.
That was rude.
I'm joking. I'm
Stop
joking.
using it.
All right.
So, got me all messed up. I think one thing that, you know, I got engaged at 18 and no one could tell me, no one could tell me otherwise.
Yeah, but you needed to go through that experience, and you got a whole
Well,
bunch of positive experience
I
from
get
it.
that, but my point was you couldn't have told me
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know. But I think it's hard when you're 18, 17 years old. You've got your plan or you're going to do what you want to do and you've just got to
Oh
learn the
yeah.
hard way.
It's like from 18 to like 20, 28-ish. It was my way or the highway, and I knew I was gonna be able to do this and that. And now I'm just like, all right, brothers, dad, sisters, mom, please tell me, please give me advice because I obviously don't know anything.
Okay, we're going to wrap this up.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any quirks or habits from high school still?
Yeah. Me. Anytime I want to rap, I, I like anytime I want to like do my own freestyle. I've had the same freestyle over and over, and I want to like make it into a rap song. But anytime we'd be chilling at Sheets, me and my buddy Will, Max,
Yeah,
Charlie,
whenever you start
Kevin,
drinking, it comes out.
yeah, I'm just like, yo, check it. My name is Pat, and I'm back, and I'm ready to attack with the baseball bat like Barry Bonds. I'm hitting home runs. I'm undercover like a brother. Call me Bonds, James Bond. And anytime someone hears it for the first time, they're like, dang, dude, you're pretty good.
You're like, it's okay, I've been perfecting it for 20 years now.
Yeah. And so I'll probably make an album eventually. I'm almost done my first song.
It's not even a full song.
Yeah, it's just a phrase.
That's hilarious. I don't think I have any yes, I do. I do have a habit from high school that I still do. I am a messy person, and I always will be.
And then a super clean person because you go on clean,
Um,
clean streaks too.
I make piles of clothes,
Yep.
and they stay until I get over it, and then I'm like, screw this, I got to do something about it. But I was really bad in high school, and my dad would just open the door and shut it. It was so bad. So I still have that quirk. I'm a messy person, but then I get like,
But then you get
I can't do
inspired and
it."
you're like, I gotta clear these mountains.
I know, and then it takes me like 3 hours.
But you get it. You
And then
get
I'm like,
after
I
it.
didn't even wear this.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I just pull it off the rack and then I'm like, ah, yeah, I don't want to do anything with that. Just gonna keep stepping on it. Oh my gosh. You love me though.
I do love you.
You know,
But
you have a quirk.
no.
You don't put your clothes in the hamper. You put them beside the hamper.
That's right.
And also, you never change the toilet
Never
paper.
changed it. Actually, no, I just did that right before.
You did?
Yeah, because I was like, who left this little piece of paper inside?
Well, good for you.
Yeah, boom.
I feel like
Yeah, you thought you drank all this coffee.
I
You
did.
didn't. And then you thought I didn't change the toilet paper roll. I do. Boom.
Okay.
Well,
You
guys,
got me this time.
that was episode 4.
So to sum it up, our high school selves would probably think we're lame, but we're cool.
No, I think they'd be like indifferent. I think they wouldn't be focused on us.
Yeah.
I think they'd just be like, we got to be focused on our journey. People will come to get advice when they're ready.
Isn't it crazy though? Opposites attract.
Yeah, sometimes.
Because I would have not given you the time of day in high school.
Yeah, you would have been focused on band practice. I've been focused.
100%. I
You
was
like-
a band geek.
I
You
got
were
it.
a football player.
Not really. I played football, but I was not a great football player. I wish. I was like the Rudy that sucked at playing. I was just coach, let me go in a scout team, let me be the running back, quarterback, wide receiver, let me do the kick return. I will do it to the best of my abilities. I will run hard, and then boom, I would get clocked, and then everyone would be like, oh.
So you tried to be athletic, but you are athletic.
No, I was
Like, was there a
I was
sport-
athletic. Oh, baseball, I was pretty dang good at. And then yeah, baseball was my sport.
Okay.
And then football, it was like when everyone was the same size. Yeah, I was good. But then when they all went through puberty, I was like, well, this is kind of dumb.
Why am I still here?
Yeah, why am I a little boy and you guys are big boys?
That's funny.
Yeah. But senior year, I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to be a little boy for the rest of my life. I'm going to just play football and not be scared because if I get hit and it hurts, it's like it just hurts for a little bit. So if there is a goal that you guys are want to go after and something's holding you back and you're like, "Oh, I can't do this until something happens." It's never going to happen. So you might as well just do it now while you suck at it. And then maybe one day you'll be good at it. And that's like why we're doing the podcast. Like,
Can I tell you one thing I hated, and we'll wrap it up, but one thing I hated in high school was because I played the flute and I was like in band, and then everyone would be like, this one time at band camp
oh yeah, the movie American Pie.
for America, and I'd never seen it.
That was
I
my
wasn't
first
allowed.
rated R movie that me and my brothers went to. I was in 5th grade, I think.
And then I was like, I learned what it was, and I was like, oh my, it was offensive. Anyways,
It was awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for
Patrick's got to
watching
go
us.
to work. He's getting stressed out.
I'm not stressing out. I just like being a couple minutes there before the time that I need to be there.
Make sure to like and subscribe and follow our Instagram. I will also tag that on here. Tell us in the comments what your high school self would think of you now, or the most embarrassing trend you were part of back then. Next week, we don't know what we're diving into, but we'll let you know.
Boom.
Till wit do us part. We will see you next time. Bye.
Peace out, buttheads. I'm joking.